What's up, everybody? Thank you very much for joining the Bob Dodd Show. Today, I have a awesome guest. It's a fella I grew close to working in the construction industry. I want to introduce the great, the powerful Brian Love. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it so much, dude. I find you, man, you're such a smart person and a smart worker. I think watching you and the team that you're working with, it blew my mind. I wish more people would work that way. You know, iron worker, right? That's because I asked you earlier, what's the difference between a steel worker and iron worker?
I'm going to tell you, a lot of people say iron worker, right? Mm-hmm. But I want to let them know the difference between an iron worker and a union iron worker.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, a union iron worker is for the brotherhood of their men, and they have certain conditions that they go by to make sure they get a better wage, better working conditions, and all that, right? Mm-hmm. But an iron worker, a regular iron worker, he's probably non-union.
Okay.
And he's probably not being treated the way he's supposed to be treated, and he's probably on the verge of being let go for any type of reason. The guy might say, okay, I don't like the way your teeth look. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And he might let you go. He might say, okay, this guy's ugly, or this guy's black, or this guy's green. I don't like the way his shoes look.
Yeah. And
he'll let you go for that, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
The non-union side, yeah.
But yeah, with the non-union side. But with the union side, you have a backbone.
Yeah.
You have representation behind you saying, no, you're not going to let this guy go for that. You have to have a legitimate reason why you're letting this guy go or separating him from his job or whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they have to treat you accordingly.
Yeah.
Put it like that.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know many iron workers. You know, I just know the guys that I'm working with right now. I wouldn't know the difference between a non-union iron worker because I don't think I've ever met one.
Well, like I said,
yeah,
you know, you could say iron worker, but it's a difference between saying iron worker and union iron worker.
Sure, yeah.
It's a difference between that.
Well, I'm glad I have you on there because we could like touch base on that. You know, I do have basic like knowledge of union work. I feel like the last 19 years of my life, I've been part of a union. Film industry, I'm part of a union. Construction industry, I'm part of a union. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I know that. I'm used to that. I did grow up roofing with my father, non-union, family business, you know.
I've been on that side too.
Yeah. But that's quite different when you're talking big projects. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when you get into that scale of big projects, I don't want to say there's not good non-union workers, but most of the people I've come across, the union hand has always been vetted. Mm-hmm. And that's like the main thing for me.
Yeah.
You know, if there was 100 workers like you, anything is possible. Anything can get accomplished. You know, you recognize the dangers that you're working with. You know the material. You know the 1,000 different ways to skin that cat or to do the job. So that experience, you know, helps a lot too. You know, so I feel like having people like you, that's the magic. That's the key, dude. You have so many superhuman powers. I feel like you're like on that construction site doing so many different things, whether if it's communicating with me when I'm operating a machine or just like making sure everybody's good. And you're good at your job, dude. And that's why I have him on, guys, because I think he's extraordinary. I think he's really good at his craft. And tell me about that craft, man. What's it like? How long you been doing it?
Well, I've been a union iron worker since '99. I've never been a non-union iron worker unless I was out of work. Mm-hmm. And that was only when I was an apprentice and maybe part of the time when I was a journeyman. But as an apprentice, I had to do what I had to do to try to provide for my family at the time. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have work going on a lot at that time. So, you know, I let the hall know, first of all, and I had to go do what I had to do.
Yeah.
And even before I even joined the union, I did non-union work. And I've seen that side, and I've seen how they work, and I've seen their work ethic and their work practices. And it's not the ideal job that I want to be on because it's unsafe, it's dangerous, and at any point in time, you could be let go
Yeah.
for any reason.
Oh, you don't want to walk that sketchy walk, or
Yeah.
and the way superiors talk to, because right now we're on a job where there's non-union and union workers working, and I got a very good view of the non-union company that's there and the way they treat their people. Dion can tell you,
I just want to point out, we call those rats, by the way.
oh, yeah.
We call those rats, by the way.
So
If you're working non-union, you're working rat. And if you're working non-union as a non-union, if you're working union and doing non-union things, you're working rat. So that's how we kind of identify
yeah,
certain things, because really the union is a brotherhood.
yeah,
It's a brotherhood. You look out for each other. You know what I'm saying? You make sure each other is safe. You make sure each other is good. You make sure each other work. You're not doing anything that's going to jeopardize the job or the men on the job.
Yeah.
And even outside the job,
Yeah.
you look out for each other. So
yeah. And every bag of apples, you're going to have a bad one. So
yeah, you're always going to have a bad apple.
that's nothing that to really deal with the union. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to take care of
Yeah,
the collective.
yeah.
And I appreciate that about the union. I actually, have a story of when I'm in the film industry and the writer's strike happened and there was just no work to be had, right? Everybody in the film industry was just not working. And in the film industry, it's okay to work non-union jobs because those non-union jobs are more or less like commercials. They're like 2-day gigs and everybody thrives on that. So it's not so taboo to jump on a commercial on a union project because there's just not a lot of union projects. However, so you have this like mass group just out of work, and our union stepped up. Actually, a collective of different unions stepped up, and they made sure we had a spot to go get groceries. They made sure that for every person that's actually struggling real hard, that there was a small amount of money to it's not going to take care of anything big. It's not going to take your house payment or anything like that, but it's going to put some food on the table, or it's going to pay that car note for you real quick, or get you that plane ticket to the next job you need to go to. And that's one thing I'm really proud about the film unions. The Teamsters, it's a great union. The IATSE for the stagehand workers and the film workers, it's a great union. I didn't know any other union. And then when I got into the operator union, I feel the same thing. So, it's just a turn. I don't know how to explain it, but I really appreciate unions. So if someone wanted to become a union member, like how do you become an apprentice for an iron worker?
Well, I mean, if you want to become an apprentice as an iron worker, I mean, first of all, I feel like you would actually have to contact the hall, let them know who you are, and then once you let them know who you are and what your skill set is, you go to the hall and show your face. Show up every day. Ask them what you need to do to join. Tell them, let them know what your skill set is. Show up at the hall every single day and let them know you're serious. And you know what I'm saying?
They'll pick up on it.
They'll pick up on it and you go from there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember when you were an apprentice? Like what you had to go through?
I remember when I was an apprentice, and it was actually kind of goofy, a silly type of thing, right? When I joined the union, I had a guy that tied rebar. He had a rebar company. His name was Paul Moore. Him and his wife had a rebar company out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And my dad actually knew him and ran into him, and he was conversating with my dad and communicating with my dad, like, man, you need to get that boy in the union. You need to get that boy. I was like 18, 19 years old. So, when he finally got in contact with me, my dad told me, like, hey, this guy's trying to get you in the union. And I didn't join for a while, but I think I was in my early 20s when I joined. I was like 22, 23. I wish I had joined earlier, but, that's in the past now. But when I finally joined, he brought me down there himself. He took me to the hall and introduced me to the BA, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
I actually, my very first job as an ironworker was tying rebar.
Yeah. So, like for caissons or like what did you got? Just
Caissons, mats, walls,
wow, anything for all the concrete.
My hands were so raw. My hands were blistered up every single day, and I tell this story to everybody. I had 2 old iron workers that I was working with. I was an apprentice, first year apprentice. They's like, look, you know how you fix these blisters? You either piss on it or you let a dog lick it. And I was like, what? I said, damn. I said, piss on it. They were like, yeah, and let a dog lick it. And I was like, what? That you know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, it works. So I didn't have a dog at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Is this true?
It's true story.
What
true
was
story.
Wow, what were they thinking?
I went to Porta John because my hands were hurting so bad.
Yeah.
I went to Porta John and did what I had to do.
Yeah. It worked?
It worked.
No way.
It worked.
Well, they say if you get stung by a jellyfish, pee on it. So there's some merit.
There's something in there.
Dude, Mythbusters, where you
something
at?
In there.
Man.
Yeah. Something in there.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Culture. You think like you probably can't even say that to an apprentice nowadays.
I'm gonna say that to an apprentice every time. Like if he has his hands blistered up like I did, I'm gonna tell him that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass it on.
Yeah.
And it works.
Man.
It works.
Do you think that the culture of like when you were being an apprentice to the culture now is like drastically different?
Vastly different, because when I came up, and I'm gonna really put this out there as a young black man in ironwork, I was treated so bad that I almost quit 3 times. And I'm gonna tell this story to everybody. Like I went to the store on the 1-hour breaks, and we had a break to go get something to eat or get a snack or go get some. I was at this store right around the corner from our hall, and the lady's like, "Baby, you all right? What's wrong?" And I was like, "I'm thinking about just quit, just giving it up because I don't like the way I've been treated." She was like, "Baby, look, hang in there. It's gonna pay off. I promise you. Just hang on in there, stick it out, and it's gonna pay off." And that lady really actually saved me from quitting.
Man, you remember her at all? Like
I don't remember her name.
Man, if you're
I
out
remember
there,
that store that she worked in, but I think it was a Circle K.
Man,
it was right around the corner from our union hall, right there in Chattanooga.
Okay.
The ironworkers.
Man, shout out to the lady at the Circle K.
And she saved me from quitting.
Yeah, she
really saved me from quitting because I actually was going to quit that night.
Do you have like a bag of like things to say to folks that are ironworking right now to kind of like do the same thing, like tell them not to quit or like something that's uplifting?
Well, I can say this, it might not be the pay that you want, but you'll be able to provide for your family.
Yeah,
it's steady work.
Yeah,
like the job that we're on, for instance. It might not be the job that you want at the time. You got to deal with a lot of politics and a lot of, hoops.
Yeah, for sure.
Loopholes, obstacles, hurdles, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it's steady work, and it's not hard work. Yeah. And me being 52 years old, I'm glad I don't have to put my tools on every day, because every now and then I might have to put my harness on to get in that aerial lift and rig up some stuff, but I'm glad I don't have to put all my tools on, because it was one point in time one point in time, I was wearing all of my tools: my beater, my sleever bar, my spud wrenches, a full harness, three bolt bags on my harness, all that.
Just walking around,
Yeah,
high off the
walking
ground.
around, not even up high on the ground.
Yeah,
you know, ripping and running,
Yeah.
going from point to point.
Do you if you were to do like anything different as far as like, because I know a lot of folks when they get into a union and they have to travel a little bit, is there any advice that you can give, like how to say no to a job that's maybe a little too far away, not willing to do per diem, or a job that's like maybe not the right job for you? Like how do you find that out?
It's all about how bad you want it and how far you want to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Like how much money you want to make. You know, at the time, what is your family situation right now? You know what I'm saying? For a single man, I say run it up, run that money up. But for a married man, I say kind of fight certain battles. You know, every battle is not meant to be won.
Yeah.
You know, I would say certain battles you might need to kind of take the L for.
Yeah, for sure.
Sacrifice for, you know. Like, for instance, me, I can go anywhere in the United States and work. I know I can.
Yeah.
And I know I can make way more money than I'm making right now. But for the benefit of my grandchildren, my children, and my wife or whatever, I try to stay close to home and be local so I could be here and deal with certain situations and spend time with my family.
Yeah, the presence is way.
Even
Sometimes,
though I'm kind of out of town at the time, but I'm able to at any time I'm able to.
Can you think of a project where you grew the most on, like where you got your chops, where like you really really learned something, maybe a story or something happened that really opened your eyes to see like how something can be done? 'Cause,
I would say probably back in 2009 and the beginning of 2010, I was at Plant Jack Mac McDonough. It was a lot of us out there at the time, and I was working night shifts. We had days and nights, but I was working night shift. It was a lot of us on night shift. And I was connecting. I was bolting up, and I was the flagman and sigman on that job, and it was a fun job. It was a fun job. I did a lot of dangerous stuff that I shouldn't have done, that I kind of regret, like jumping elevations and running across beams without being tied off, and drinking on the job and smoking on the job. And, that's what iron workers do most of the time. I mean, it is what it is.
There's no drug testing or anything for the iron workers?
I wouldn't say that, but now it is more so, now. But, back then, it wasn't so much back then. But
you think people handled their like drug and alcohol better back in the day compared to now?
You'd have to talk to somebody older than me.
Okay.
But I know it was more fluent then.
Yeah.
I know it was more. I know for a fact that if you didn't do something, you couldn't enter the job site.
Yeah.
I put it like that. A lot of older iron workers say that.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't do something, if you didn't drink, if you didn't smoke or snort or something, you wouldn't be on that job site because they felt like they couldn't trust you.
Interesting. Wow. That's a peer pressure. A guy like me wouldn't make it because I guess
a lot of these older iron workers will tell you, they were like, look, you got to be doing something.
Yeah.
They got the job done, but a lot of them,
yeah,
it is what it is. and I'm gonna go back to the history of iron work. Actually, iron work as a whole was discovered and founded back in 4000 BCE. And the Iron Workers Union, per se, was founded in 1896.
Wow.
in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So that goes back to, I mean, and the reason why they formed that because they wanted better working conditions, better wages, you know, be able to provide for their family, you know, just a better way of life.
Yeah.
You know, back then, 1896, you got to think about that.
Uh,
What a lot of people were going through back then in 1896.
yeah.
In the early 1800s, late 1800s,
Yeah.
it was rough. I bet. I couldn't even imagine how rough it was.
Well, I mean, I
That
grew
was
up,
what back like almost like kind of like around the Depression days.
well, the Depressions was in the 30s.
Okay.
Yeah. But like when you think about like in the 1800s,
Yeah.
you know, like Pittsburgh, New York, Chicago, Birmingham, all these industrial cities, you know, the type of work coming out of the steel mills, coming out of the foundries, you know, like everything had,
Coal miners.
yeah, everything had like, there's pictures of Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh has a lot of different steel mills coming up because we had the riverways and a lot of different foundries and coke places where they made to make iron and steel. So everywhere it would have like a layer of soot and dirt, just real thick. So people would live high up in the mountain where Mount Washington was, and that would be like the bee's knees to stay at because the soot fell and didn't rise. They got the smog, but the soot fell. So they would take these stairs walking down a mountain. They would like hundreds of stairs to come down into the city for all the steel workers. Yeah. And, you know, like the imagery that Pittsburgh has with all the steel workers and you being, you know, an iron worker, I think you would love Pittsburgh because I think Pittsburgh was built for people like you. And I feel like the heritage, the history, the respect that you get out of Pittsburgh, Chicago for those things. I mean, I think that's why maybe that's why I like find you so amazing because like you remind me of so much of what I saw in the past and the photos and the stories of people. Like you remind me of that, you know, like you're not much older than me, but like, you know, I really look up to you, man, the way you work. I find you smart and the way you, like, I feel like I'm looking at a history book, you know what I mean? Like stuff that I've seen. So I'm like proud to know you, you know, so
It's probably going to take a couple of more podcasts to get into that because I mean, I can sit here and tell you a lot
sure
about, you know, things that I've been through and things that, you know, that I've experienced, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lot. It's a lot. And I wouldn't even have to say anything. I could let my mother talk. I could let my wife talk. I could let my sons talk, you know.
Yeah.
They could tell you a lot. And my cousins, I got all female cousins right here in the state of Georgia.
Yeah. Did you grow up here in Georgia?
I actually came here in 1984 with my mother and my stepfather. They moved to Jonesboro, Georgia.
Okay.
And they have the same house, the same block, same neighborhood ever since then. Never moved, never switched houses, none of that.
Man. Yeah. A lot of history, a lot of heritage here. Yeah. Where would you like to live, like work and live? Do you have a favorite place? Because I know you traveled, so do you just like Georgia? Do you want to stay here?
I don't really have any desire.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, to be honest, I've been a lot of places. Like my mother and my father are from Arkansas.
Okay.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But when she moved here, like she moved here in 1984 with my stepfather, and she never left. We moved here from California, from Sacramento, California.
Okay.
And my father, you know, he pretty much moved around from Arkansas to Georgia to Tennessee, you know, different places. But my mother, when she came here in 1984, she just never left.
Yeah. Did she do anything for work? Does she have a job?
She's a retired. She's a retired. She used to be in the telephone industry, like
all right, like an operator.
AT&T, Southwestern Bell.
Okay.
Well, actually Pacific Bell. Then from Pacific Bell to Southwestern Bell. Then from Southwestern Bell to AT&T.
Okay.
And she retired from AT&T with like 30 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah, and my stepfather retired from Lucent Technologies with 30 plus years.
What's Lucent Technologies? I feel like
You
I
know,
heard
that's
about
like
that.
a fiber optic company.
Yeah. Okay. That's where I know it from. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. Did you ever think you'd be in our world? Like when you were growing up, man, what did you want to do?
Never even thought I would be in this profession.
Yeah.
You know.
If you need any water, look under your feet. There's water.
I think
In case you get dry throat or whatever. But yeah, what did you want to be?
I actually wanted to be an actor,
Really?
to be honest.
Wow.
I mean, when I graduated high school, I had an A+ in drama, and both of my drama teachers walked me down the hall my last day of school, and they said, "Look, you need to pursue this profession.
Oh, wow.
Please pursue this profession because I think you would be good at it." I never did.
You know, you
Never
still
did.
can. You still can.
Yeah, I know.
You still can. I bet you could do it, man.
I thought about it a lot, you know, and like I said, I wanted to write either a book or do a movie or a TV series or something about my life story.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I probably could. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, people say the only way to do it is
To do it.
To do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's real hard. It's real hard. There's basically all the information out there in the world, like on the World Wide Web, to figure out how to do something. It's always up to us to just like say, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to go do it. Because I think that that's like the hardest thing, man. It's just like, there's a motivational speaker, and he I'm trying to remember his name, but he's like a military guy, and he's like, man, he goes, I don't want to go for a run. Sometimes I'll stare at my shoes for like 45 minutes before I go run. Goggins, Michael Goggins, I forget, something Goggins. And you know, he said he'll look at his shoes for 45 minutes, but he'll at least, you know, he'll get up and run. You just got to go do it.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to hear your stories, man. You know, from talking to you, from hearing the glimpses of what you talk about. I mean, I want to get to know you, man. I think you're a special dude. Is there anything you want to share with people or people to know about you?
Well, I just want to say that I'm a laid back person. You know, I'm easygoing. I can get along with anybody. I just don't like bullshit. I don't like dealing with bullshit. I don't like nobody bullshitting me. And I just, you know, I just want peace in my life at this point. I'm 52.
Yeah.
So I just want peace in my life because I've had enough chaos
Yeah.
in my life to deal with.
Do you have a plan for peace or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes, man, like when things happen, it's hard to, you know, stick on a plan. You know, and life throws so many obstacles.
Yeah, me and my wife, you know, and shout out to my wife, by the way, my lovely wife. Me and her, we're on the same page to where we want land and we want to build from the ground up. And we just want to just live off the land and just basically live off the grid, have our own food, have our own water resources, have our own power source.
Yeah.
And because we know eventually something's going to happen to where we're going to need all of that.
Yeah. Being self-sufficient is something that a lot of people don't think about. You know, it's like crazy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything.
No, I'm not either.
But the fact of the matter is there was an instance where in New York City there was an apartment building with all of these bots. I forget how many. If there was 3 million cell phones or something crazy. I
heard about that.
Comment if you know what it is. Let me know. I don't
heard
remember.
about that.
But the whole reason that thing was there, people thought they were like mining Bitcoin or something or trying to track data. But the real reason why that was there was because when an incident happens, like, I don't know if you're familiar with like what happens on incidents when people try to use the phone and all of a sudden there's a dead connection. Well, they call that a reserve of service. There's like a terminology for it where only important phone calls get to be made, and sometimes important phone calls don't even get to be made. So it's to shut down the communication. So that was really there to shut down the communication. So if there was something crazy about to happen, they could shut down communication, and somebody could do some kind of terroristic thing. And when someone wants to call and say, hey, this is what's going on, nothing would happen. They wouldn't even be able to call 911 or the fire department or anything. So that's what that cell was there for. And I know that the government, they think that there are thousands of those across the United States. So, but the New York one was leaked somehow. That's why people, heard about it. So being self-sufficient, independent, it's a big thing. A lot of people don't think about it. It's kind of hard to think about it too. We live in a community. What do they say? If a solar flare happens, if anything shuts down our grid, I mean, people who need, breathing apparatuses, whatever, people might pass. So it's self-sufficient is key.
It's deep.
It's real wild.
Real deep. I mean, that's why, a lot of people don't realize, technology is only temporary.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. A lot of people use technology for a lot of different things, but when they take that away,
Yeah.
then what?
Yeah, you got to learn how to farm. You got to learn the cycles of the terraform, because like dirt's only so good so many times, and then you have to find a way to replenish it. Yeah, that's why you need cows and goats to poop on that ground.
My grandfather used to burn. My grandfather and my grandmother were sharecroppers.
Oh, wow.
They had 97 acres of land that they lived on, and that was all behind the house that they lived in, and they had 14 kids.
Wow.
And all those kids had children. Those were all my first cousins. So most of us used to be playing back there in that field.
Wow.
And he used to burn that field every year. And I didn't know why until he explained it to me, and my grandmother explained it to me, like that was to...
Some kind of rejuvenation or
rejuvenation
reset.
of the land.
Yeah. We got a couple different farms here in Georgia that do rejuvenating, or they like, I forget what, once again, man, I'm not smart or anything, but I try to remember these things. But there's a farm here in Georgia where they use the cattle, and they circle the cattle, and they basically, they eat and poop on this part of the land, and then eat and poop on this part of the land, eat and poop on this part of the land, and then they grow stuff on it as it goes on. But it's like White Oak Farms or something like that. It's here in Georgia. It's not too far away. It's like 4 hours from here, 3 hours from here, something like that. And regenerative farming is what they call it. And White Oak Pastures, I think is what it's called. Yeah,
I never heard of that.
Yeah. So
process.
You can get steaks there. You can get food there. Yeah. They're a cattle company. Yeah. But
and you said the cows eat poop?
No. They eat and then they poop and then they move. They eat and then they poop.
I thought you said they eat poop, and I was like, wait a minute.
I sure hope not. I may have said that, but I didn't mean that.
I was like, wait a minute, the steaks, how do steaks taste?
Yeah, man, holy crap. Brian and I, we've been working since like early this morning. We work today. I might not be all there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's like White Oak Pastures or something like that.
Okay.
Check it out, man. It's pretty cool. Just that idea of being self-sufficient. I think everybody wants it. Nobody is willing to try for it, though.
Okay.
Only very few people can try for it. You need to be hard. Yeah. You can't have like, it's people who are, it's survival, people in Alaska, that's what they do up there every day.
Yeah.
They not only have a full-time job in Alaska, but they work for their housing. Yeah. It'd be weird to live like, we have friends that living in Haines, Alaska. And they're like cutting down trees, milling their own wood, and building a house, dude. And Dustin's, he's badass, dude. Sharon and Dustin's badass.
Wow.
That's all I could say.
My wife, she has cousins up there in Alaska that's up there living.
Oh. Like, you know where? Anchorage?
I don't know exactly where, but the house that they live in is like a cabin house. And they built it up off of the ground. And she said the reason why they built it up off of the ground like they did because of the bears.
Interesting. Yeah. It's funny because Dustin's house is kind of up off the ground.
Yeah, she said that's the reason. She said her cousin said that's the reason why her and her husband built the house off of the ground, like so high off the ground like that because of the bears.
Yeah. See, I'm so happy to live down south now because when I was living up north, man, all that snow, shoveling that snow, dealing with that cold. Everyone talks about how they don't mind the warmth and they just don't want to deal with the cold. I agree with that. Some people want to deal with the cold and not the heat. I'm like, I don't follow.
And I've been to prison before, and when I was in prison, that was my very first time seeing a nor'easter. I've never seen a nor'easter before, but I seen it up close and personal, and that shit right there is crazy. I've never seen so much snow in my life.
Yeah.
Never seen so much. I'm talking about it's so much snow, like almost mountains and hills of snow.
Yeah.
Like nonstop for a certain amount of time, like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Where was that at?
Up in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay. Oh, that's
up in New Jersey. I actually experienced one, like, what was it, like 2017, 2018?
Oh, that was a big weather year too.
Yeah.
Big weather year. I think here, matter of fact, Georgia got shut down in 2017.
Really?
Yeah, the awning of my camper, because that's when I moved here. The awning of my camper broke, and I had 11 inches of snow in, where was I? Austell. In a
Really?
campground. Yeah, I had 11 inches of snow, and it broke. I left my awning out.
Wow.
Because I didn't know, like, I heard it was going to snow, but everyone kept saying, oh, you might get an inch or two.
Yeah.
You know, but no, it collapsed. It broke everything. It's an expensive thing. And then my water, my water tank froze. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to check it out, see what I can do to get it started. And I never screwed the ano rod back in to where like the water would come out. So when I got home, we had about 8-9 inches of water underneath, like, I don't know, man, like 7-8 campers because I left my stuff on and the water was on.
Wow.
And the camp lady, she was so nice. She just said, oh, we got a little water problem. And like, as she was saying that, I look at my trailer and the water's like spewing out.
Yeah.
But they didn't say anything to me, man. I mean, nothing really bad happened, but that was 2017. You need a bottle opener, dude? Oh, dude, thank you so much. Hey, D, you're going to have to come on the next podcast, man. Please. Thank you very much. Everybody say what's up to D. Just thank you. Look down into the camera there. Look down low. There you go. D.
I'm a hand worker too from Local 7 Boston.
Nice.
Hey, Local 7 in the house.
Nice. Thank you so much, D. Appreciate it. And dude, eat up all that candy too. That candy's that's for you. If you eat candy.
And by the way, I don't know if I didn't say it. I'm out of Local 387 right here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice.
But I topped out in Local 704 in Chattanooga. But they treated me so bad that I switched my book. As soon as I topped out, I switched my book.
Wow. How long does it take to top out? 4 years?
Yeah.
4 years? Okay.
It takes about 4 years.
Yeah. Bring it a little closer to you.
Okay.
No, bring the mic closer. You stay chill. Just bring that mic closer to
Okay.
you. Yeah. You can grab it, man.
I don't.
Dude. Some people were afraid to touch the microphone. Nah, man, this thing, you can touch it.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know I might break something.
I know, man. You're used to picking up all that steel.
Yeah, I'd rather just be delicate with it.
That's one of the things. Your overall strength, picking all that stuff up, moving all that stuff, is impressive. I mean, so you're working with shackles. I don't know, what are they? 35 pounds of shackle, maybe, or 25 pounds of shackle and you're just all day long holding it up, unscrewing it like I don't know, opening the top of a Coke bottle or something.
Well, it's just, I mean, when you doing something repetitive, you learn little hacks and tricks to deal with certain things that weigh certain things, certain weights.
Yeah.
So, I do it every day. So it's just repetitious, really.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just know certain things to do and certain things what not to do.
Yeah.
In certain situations.
What's the best hack you think you learned in steel? Because we're gonna have a lot of steel workers listening to this podcast, because like on the site, everybody knows about this podcast now.
I would say the best hack. What can I think of? The best hack. Okay. I say, for instance, everybody that's an iron worker out there, a union iron worker, I might add. I say a JIW, a journeyman iron worker. Okay. The best hack when you're dealing with shackles and steel chokers, when you twist that pin out, you don't have to take the pin all the way out. You could take the pin, slide it back a little ways, just enough to get that steel choker in there, slide it in there, hold it up, out of the way, twist the pin back in.
Yeah. You make it look effortless. Dude, I tried doing it. I mean, I was able to do it, but at the same time, I don't make it look easy like you make it.
Well, I mean, that goes back to and a lot of things too, though. Having good working material to work with, like those pins. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of those pins that we work with need to be oiled.
Yeah,
because some of them are hard to twist. Like if you're not used to twisting them on a daily basis, they're hard. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They're hard to twist, and they need to be kind of lubricated a little bit.
Sure, taken care of.
Once they're lubricated, man, to me.
Yeah.
No, just to me. I don't know about anybody else, but to me, it's easy.
Yeah. It's amazing how much this podcast is like kind of like getting traction and a lot of people reviewing. We had Dudley and then Jabray on, and so many people, so many more subscribers. And guys, comment down below.
Yeah.
If you have questions for him, he'll answer them, and he can comment down in the comment section. Hopefully have you on again, like in the future. But
I'm willing, because this is not, this night doesn't define my whole story.
No. And we still got lots to talk about. We're nowhere near finished with this podcast. So it's like, I'm just saying with the fact that it's being noticed now. And, I really want to give some recognition and a window and a lens on someone like you, because I find you important.
I appreciate it. And I want to shout out to all the older iron workers that came before me, because they are the ones that taught me what I know. And, they're the ones that made me the journeyman iron worker that I am today.
Yeah.
So I want to give a shout out to Big D and I say who else? Paul Moore, Pretty Tony, you know what I'm talking about. Blue, Dean Dryden, who else? Dion, who I work with side by side every day. I look at him. I look at Dion as a mentor because Dion's been in it since the 80s. And, I've only been in since 99. So he had a whole 10, 15 years before I even thought about ironwork. So he's taught me a lot.
Yeah.
I put it like that. So
yeah,
I try to learn from my peers and my elders. I respect my elders. My mother taught me that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Your mom's still around?
Yeah. My mother and my father still around. My mother's right there.
You guys raised a good one. I look up to him and I respect him.
And my father's in Rome,
Georgia. Yeah.
He actually was in politics for a while, but he's out of it now. He's actually a mediator.
No way. I know
that's what he does for a living.
I know a few mediators. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
It's a tough job.
A mediator and a consultant.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah. I can see you doing that. Definitely.
That's not for me.
It might not be for you, but like, dude, I like your wits, your sharpness. I was asking you before, like, Where do you think? Where do you think that you got your chops? Like, is it like? I mean, do you remember what year? Like, because when people figure stuff out, right? How to do things, how things work. It's like when I was older. Like I wasn't good with money, still not. But when I met my wife, like that's when things changed.
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
and my wife is a hustler.
yeah,
And she's the one that keeps track of the money, and I pretty much just I let her handle that.
yeah. Well, cheers to the wifeys and the good parents that raised us.
Yeah, that's right.
Like a lot of people don't have that. And there's a lot of young cats that are on our job that I try to. And they're probably annoyed with me, but I try to like speak to them. Like, hey, I don't know if anybody's telling you this or not, but this is what you need to hear.
Yeah.
I think we got to keep it real with them.
You got to. You have to, because who else is going to tell them if you don't tell them?
Yeah.
You don't know. They might be going a different path than what they need to go. And you're the one that gives them that one encouraging word that keeps them on that right path.
Well, yeah. You gotta build them. You can't tear them down. You got to build them up too.
Yeah, you got to build them up. You can't discourage them and stuff like that. Some folks I know did.
Yeah. I had an incident on our job where the guy, he told me everything I was doing wrong. This was my very first run-in with this guy. Everything that I was doing wrong with my forklift. He didn't say one thing on what I should be doing right. And, I commented on that. I expressed my thoughts about that with our superiors. Like, hey, it's not right. Anyway, but, every time I leave somebody, and I don't ever talk down to anybody. I just say, hey, man, I see you're doing this. You need to try to do this.
Yeah.
Whether if it's like when someone's trying to flag me or when someone's trying to set steel, it's like, hey, you're brand new. You're 21 years old.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, I see something that you don't see. When you're bringing me down, my hook's hitting here, but your eyes aren't on there. You got to notice that hook. And he's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And I was like, here, man, get in my machine. So I made him get in my machine. I'm like, mess with the controls. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. I'm just trying to teach a person how an operator thinks and feels, so he has a better insight when he's communicating.
Yeah.
And he took to it, man. He's like, all right, I got it. I think he's got a lot of promise. He's got a lot of growing to do, but he's got a lot of promise. I'm excited for him.
Yeah.
I want to be excited for people.
That's cool.
And that way they get a glimpse.
Yeah.
Do you ever try to share that glimpse? Because you're very helpful, man. You're so knowledgeable. And you're helpful. Like, what do you think the apprentices should know? And I mean, this is like flat across all craft. You have any?
You're never too old to learn. I don't give a damn if you're 70 years old. You're never too old to learn. You're always learning each and every day. So take in as much knowledge as you can about your craft, sharpen your skills. Iron sharpens iron. So if you get someone who's knowledgeable about whatever craft that you're in, I mean, get up under that person's wing and learn everything that you can about that craft.
Yeah.
And be willing to listen.
Yeah.
A lot of these young people don't like to listen. They like to do their own thing, thinking that's going to work, and it doesn't.
That's what happens.
Most of the time.
Right. And then they have that moment where they're like 27 years old and it hits them like,
damn, I should have listened to Mr. What's his name? Dang, man, I should have listened to, so and so.
We're only saying that because it happened to us.
Yeah, because it happened to me. I was that guy.
Yeah.
I was that guy when I was young. You know what I'm saying? And it took a lot of bumps in the road for me to get to where I'm at.
When you were younger in the steel industry, did you have anybody champion you at all that really was just like, look, man, I see you're good and like stay with me and I'll make sure you're okay?
Mr. Paul Moore.
Okay.
I would say. And I had a group of guys. They were like a family, the Eberhards, out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. They taught me a lot. Moon Pie. We call him Moon Pie out of that hall. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he taught me a lot. You know, guys like that taught me a lot. I can't remember this guy's name, but who's ever out of Local 704 can remember this guy. He was an iron worker. He fell off his horse at his house, and he got hurt really bad, and he was never the same. But he still kept working, but he taught me a lot. And I used to ride into work with him on night shift a lot, going to TVA, Widows Creek, fossil fuel plant in Stevenson, Alabama. I rode with him a lot on night shift, and he taught me a lot. And I actually went to go visit him when he fell off his horse in the hospital. Yeah, cool guy.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I mean, when I asked you earlier about like, what did you think you'd be doing? Did you think you'd be doing this? Like, have you like, do you have hobbies? Do you have things that you like to do outside of iron work?
I just like to just
I know you
relax.
move.
Mainly, I like sports. I'm a sports fan.
Yeah,
I'm a big sports fan. I could watch if it's interesting, if it's a good game or a good match or whatever. I'll watch it. I watch tennis. I watch boxing, MMA, football, basketball, soccer. I actually went to a soccer game that my BA gave me tickets for.
Nice.
For Atlanta United, and I forgot who else. I forgot who they were playing that night, but I had so much fun.
That's
I went by myself.
Yeah.
You know, but I had a lot of fun, and that was my first ever soccer match that I ever went to. Ever.
That's cool. I never been. Well, I've been to soccer matches, but not professional.
This was cool.
That's awesome.
Because it's actually, this was Atlanta United.
That's big. Playing in that arena too.
Playing inside a Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I've been in that place for a little bit, man. That's being on the field.
Yeah.
Just looking up all around at the 50-yard line. It's a big place, man.
And a lot of us built that stadium.
Yeah. Julia was the big red crane in that thing.
Yeah.
You've known Julia for a little bit.
I've known Julia probably ever since I was an apprentice.
Wow.
I was an apprentice.
So that's how small the community is too. Like that's another thing too. Like when you think of iron worker, union iron worker, the community. When you think about the membership across the United States, it sounds like a lot, but it is a small community, and the word gets around too. Like if you're hurt, or if maybe if you're no good or whatever it might be, the word gets around quick, and those small union communities, like you are worth your, what do they call that? Your stitch or whatever it's called. You know what I mean? You're judged upon your character most of the time, to my experience. But it's like I sit there and think to myself, people are building things every day. Like if you go downtown Atlanta, did you have a building that you worked on besides the Mercedes-Benz?
I never worked on Mercedes. Actually, I was out when that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I say probably. Okay, we're gonna go back to 2013, 2014, early 2014. I had just started a job at Plant Bowen. It was an 8-month project. We were working 7 days a week. I was probably 2 weeks into that job, and I got locked up.
Oh shit!
And my plan was to stay on that job for that 8-month run, or until that Mercedes-Benz job started, and I was going to drag up and go to Mercedes-Benz because I was actually living in College Park at the time.
Okay,
so I could have just caught the train to work every day.
Yeah.
Once I got on that job, I didn't even have to drive. I could have just caught the train to work every day.
Yeah.
Could just park at the train station.
Yeah.
Went to work every day.
Commuting is a huge part.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen for you. I'm sorry that didn't happen for you.
But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? God had bigger things and better things for me in store, and he still does.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it.
Does faith help you?
Yeah, a lot. Because that's all I had when I was gone.
Yeah.
That's all I had. A lot of people, I don't know. I mean, if you've ever been to prison, if anybody's ever been to prison, they know what I'm talking about. And when you're in there, all you have is those 4 walls.
Yeah.
Especially when they turn those lights out, ain't no music, I mean, most of the time there's no TV.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you listening to chaos most of the night, and all you have is those four walls. So
Yeah.
either you're gonna rely on faith or you're gonna rely on chaos.
Yeah. That's
It's which way you want to go. What's gonna help you get through?
it's
And my thing was
scary.
exercising and being in that Bible.
yeah.
That's what got me through.
It's
And sports.
yeah. Well, it's
Sports.
scary to think about. I just recently watched a documentary about Clayton County Jail and how bad it is.
It's the worst.
Yeah. And I can't believe
It's one of the worst.
us humans are allowing that to be that way.
I was in there when Victor Hill was still the police chief.
Mm.
And Victor Hill used to make you fold the toilet paper in a V.
Mm.
And you can only have certain things in your cell when he came through there.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody higher ranking than a sergeant, I don't care if you was on the phone, I don't care if you was taking a shower, I don't care what you were doing. If they came by your pod, you had to stop what you're doing and face that wall.
Yeah.
It was a paramilitary county jail.
Yeah.
And it was very clean.
Mm-hmm.
They kept it very clean, but it was paramilitary.
This was Clayton County?
This is Clayton County.
What's up with it now? Because I hear it's like bad.
It's worse
like
than it was.
plumbing doesn't work.
It's worse than it was. Worse than it was when I
Yeah.
came through there. And
Yeah.
I've been through there several times, but it's worse than it was then. When I came through there was only 2 channels you could watch.
Mm-hmm.
And the trustee had the remote.
Mm.
And he was the only one that could change the channel.
Wow. They gave it to one guy.
And
Yeah.
it was so bad, and they fed us so poorly that we got to a point to where when the cart came through with the food,
Mm-hmm.
we had to steal it.
Wow.
We had to sneak and steal it
Yeah.
because they wouldn't feed us properly.
Man.
You know,
I think that's still going on in Clayton County.
it probably is.
I have to share the documentary with you if you can remember. Like I'll remember it at some point. But right now, like on a lot of the different floors or a lot of the different, their plumbing's not working. Bed bugs. They have the most stabbings that happen in the jail out of all the county jails in the United States. They actually have a section where that's like the stabbing section. People get stabbed daily.
Yeah.
And they don't even take the knives off them until they open the doors and get in. If they see them with a knife or whatever, some kind of shank or whatever, they'll just like, we'll be back later tonight. So, yeah, that's a scary situation, man. I'm sorry that you had to.
I mean, as far as that go with the conditions, you know, that was rough. But as far as like dealing with people that came through there, I didn't have an issue in there. When I came through there. I came through there. The last time I was in there was 2014,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of those guys I pretty much knew from neighborhood or whatever. You know,
Is it like a small community? Like everybody knows everybody somehow, some
pretty
way?
much. I mean, in Clayton County, it's all over. Like from Lovejoy, Riverdale, Jonesboro, any other place like Fayetteville. That's a whole different. That's Fayette County, but
Yeah.
Morrow, Rex, all those places right there. I mean, that's Clayton County.
Yeah.
So if you get pulled over or you get arrested, that's where you're going.
Yeah.
In those areas, that's where you're going.
Yeah. You know, as like a man who, I mean, you walk straight now. So it's like to find out that you went through that path, it was actually kind of surprising because, you know, I see how you work. I see your personality, you're personable. It's like, it makes you think, man, anybody can get sucked up into that system.
Yeah. I mean, it just took a lot of thinking, you know, going through what I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
It took a lot of thinking. It took a lot of, you know, soul searching, I would say, and a lot of praying,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
A lot of praying.
Faith helps a lot.
praying. And I mean, I really hadn't told a lot of people this, but when I was in the county jail up there, I had a guy that I got close to that was in the Bible, and he was leading a group of men every Sunday, you know, talking about the Bible, you know, showing them, you know, what the Bible says and describing them in detail, you know,
Yeah.
verse for verse, you know, chapter and verse, what things really mean. And I kind of took up under him. And somehow, form or fashion, I end up taking over for him. And I had a group of 25 men, 25 to 30 men coming to hear what I had to say every Sunday.
Wow.
Now,
That's
I was
huge.
already a kitchen worker.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked in the kitchen, and, you know, I try to do my best to help
Yeah.
certain people out, you know.
I could see
They
that.
didn't
man.
have food, you know, and I actually put a thing together to where we had a kitty where we helped the men that didn't have commissary. So we all put in together, and we fed people that didn't have commissary every Sunday.
Wow. I see you as a leader. I mean, like, that's awesome. That's powerful, dude.
Did that every Sunday.
That's great.
I somehow I just ended up doing that, and I couldn't believe it myself. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Do you still practice religion?
I do.
Okay.
Not so much now, like I should, but I still do.
Yeah.
I still do. I still rely on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, faith is a huge part of my life. And I think that, you know, trials and tribulations that everybody goes through.
Yeah, you know, everybody falls short of the glory of God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's all about, you know, God knows everybody's heart in this world.
Yeah.
So no matter what you go through, no matter what circumstances you have, no matter what you've done, it's never too late
No.
until you die.
Yeah. There's
You
one
know.
judge.
Yeah, it's only one judge. And
All them judges.
you didn't
that-
get right with God before you. I mean, God bless you, whatever happens. I mean, I wish people the best if they didn't get right with Him. But that's probably what you need to do before that happens.
I think you should get to go, you know God now, you know, get a relationship.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing that why I had Jabray on. He's always putting them, I don't want to call them inspiration videos because sometimes it makes me feel shitty, you know, because like, you know, he's saying to do something that I know I should be doing, but I don't do it, you know, so it's not inspirational, but it's a good like slap in the face. You know, sometimes as we walk as men, we need that slap in the face.
I was just ready to say that. You need that slap in the face sometimes.
Yeah. Like, you know, I'm sure you've been punched in the face in reality.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you never know what it's like until it actually happens.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, you know, but this pain that gets inflicted, you know, it's like, it stings, it hurts, but it makes all your senses come alive. And, you know, that flight or fight mechanism that we all have as humans, like, I noticed mine was fine-tuned and sharp every time I like learned something, you know, when it came from scripture. You know, you probably notice I'm always trying to be positive at work.
Yeah, and that's the way you need to be.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't accept that, but I mean, people need that.
Yeah.
People need that positivity
Yeah.
in this day and time, especially.
Yeah.
Because this day's time, I mean, you see it all around you every day.
Yeah.
Always negativity all around you. So
Yeah.
somebody has to be positive about it.
Well, I look at it like this.
Somebody has to project that positivity out there.
Yeah. Like, I look at it like this, you know, because like we had an incident when, you know, one of our co-workers was hanging out. I shouldn't even say hanging out. We were actually discussing our plan, how to get some material. And, you know, a general foreman came over and made a comment about like, oh, all you're doing is hanging on the door. And it kind of made me salty a little bit. But, you know, as a man, I know I have to bite my tongue because obviously he's looking at a body of evidence that he has in his mind, whether if it's right or wrong. He's looking at it through his lens. And, you know, he said, oh, the other superintendent, he was like, you know, what's going on? Like he's been doing that or whatever. And I said to him, I said, dude, if you think he's doing that, then it's capable of you thinking everybody is doing that. Mm-hmm. And I got to assure you, and this is what I told the general foreman. I was like, that's not happening. And he's like, oh, the optics. I said, dude, it's not the optics. If you don't have faith or trust in your men, then you're going to cause dissension. Mm-hmm. And he really didn't take to it or anything. I don't know if he even thinks about it because, you know, when he was just the foreman, he was, you know, saying this, that, and the other about, you know, just pressure, right? And how it's like, oh, screw that. Now he's applying it. So it's interesting now that he's getting that pressure, you know? Yeah. I mean, like, I sympathize with the dude because, like, his scope is different now, and I understand it. I've been in positions where my scope was similar, right? So he has to deal with the information he has. But at the same time, if he's looking at something and it's wrong, then he's going to be looking at it all wrong. And I try to tell him that. I don't know if he got that or not. And if you're listening out there, I still love you, guy, whatever. But yeah, you got it wrong. You got to change your ways. Don't need to be pushing on people that already push themselves, you know? That's another thing too, with being an iron worker, steel worker, just being a union man. You guys have a crew, and I find it awesome. You're dynamic, and everybody has their superpower. You know, Dion, dude, his just experience, your strength, your wit, how quick you are. You know, Abdiel, he can signal. You know, he's good. You know, Kev, I miss you, guy, dude. I loved having Kev. It sucks that he's not there anymore. Yeah, you know, we miss you. Who knows? See you on the next one or something. But like, you guys had a super crew, yeah, and you still do. You know, shout out to Jeff Meadows. You know, like your crew was great, and I saw you guys working hard every day. It's strange to think that someone wasn't seeing that. You know, it's strange to think that. You know, that's all.
You know how you have people say certain things, but you know in there, you know deep down they don't really mean it. Oh man, I appreciate your hard work. Oh, we gotta get this done. Let's go.
Yeah. Union work, you get that. And any construction job, you get that.
Yeah.
You know? But I just feel like I don't know. But once again, my faith is like it helps me, you know, walk this like crazy world. You know, when you're walking through fire, and it doesn't, like when I say walk through fire, if your fire is like your life is so good and your dishwasher breaks and that's your fire, I get it, man, that's your fire. But if your fire is losing somebody, or if your fire is doing time, or if your fire is like losing that job or burying somebody you love, like if you're walking through that fire, and there's a book out there for you, help you through it. As long as you're open and willing.
I can honestly tell you I've walked through all those fires.
Yeah.
And I'm still walking through those fires.
Well, you're a man's man, dude. Like, I don't think it's like I don't look up to people that aren't men. You know what I mean? Like you're a real man, dude. Like I see you walk your walk. You know, I know the things that you've been through. That's why I look up to you, man. I think it's awesome. I feel like if people don't take the time to get to know you, excuse me, then they're missing out. So many good people. And if you don't take the time to get to know them, if you don't give them that opportunity, people think I'm like, it's real strange, man, because number one, I'm real silly. I try to lighten the room a little bit. I try to be funny, even though I'm not funny. But the thing is, like, people have this perspective of me, right? We give everybody this like sliver, this lens to look at us by. If other people saw other parts of me, they might not be having it. Yeah. You know what I mean? If people saw certain sides of me that like somebody wouldn't want, like they just might not want to be around. You know what I mean? They might not want to get to know me at all. So I let it open. I let, oh, Bob's a silly dude. Bob's this, that. But, you know, like if you get to know somebody, you might get that doorway and you might find something interesting. You might find out something, you know, like when I found out with Jabray, he won like $500,000 in a lawsuit or something. I'm like, holy crap, dude, I never know what that would be like, you know? And he's talking about how he lost it. I'm like, holy crap, you lost it? You know, it's like, man, that's wild. I never will know that, you know?
Yeah.
I never will know that. And maybe I shouldn't say never, but like, I haven't ever known that,
Yeah.
you know? I've known other strife, you know? I know like when my dad fell and we weren't having any work, you know, and the area we grew up in wasn't great, you know? So it's like, I know that's my fire, you know, that I walked through. My brother, my sister, my mom and dad walked through that, you know, not as bad as some, but a lot worse than others, whatever. When the final product is here, and you don't know, it's not the final product because you're not the final product. Every day we grow, every day we learn, you know. So like you're not the final product until you go meet your maker, you know. But when you look at where you're at on that, I guess path, you know, you gotta answer for some things, you know. Like here I am, I did X, Y, Z, worked out here, didn't work out there. I think your shit's working out, man. I see you becoming a leader where we are. I see that you're smart, and I hope that happens for you. Now, where do you see for yourself, man? Do you see that happening?
I mean, I got a plan.
Yeah.
I got a plan either way it goes, whether they see it or not. I got a plan. I mean, if they see it, they see it. They don't, they don't. I mean, as a union member, this is not the only show in town, maybe right now, but eventually, you know, other people are gonna see it and I might move on. I might stay. It just depends, you know.
Yeah, you said something that kind of like I just want to like interject and it's not so much if they see it or if they don't see it. Sometimes you got to like show them.
Oh, I'm showing them every day.
And tell them. Well, yeah, but sometimes you got to like, I don't know, like sometimes you got to like, I don't know, because I look at you and you make it undeniable for me. It's undeniable. And that's one thing I always tell people if I'm trying to motivate someone younger than me. It's like, man, just be undeniable. Like, make it hard for them not to think about you. You know, like, I don't know, find something to do. Be undeniable. Make them think about you. Don't ever let them see you mad. So that's the way I roll.
Yeah.
You know? So, but yeah. Well, dude, like, tell me some stories, man. Tell me so we get to know you better. This podcast is young. It's real young.
What can I say?
Oh, you want some candy? You want to toss
No,
us some?
I don't want any candy.
Tell you what I do. You toss me some candy. Thanks, D. I appreciate it. I suck at catching. Dude, look at that SMR. Where they call that?
Yeah.
ASMR.
I could. Let's see. What can I say?
Thank you, D.
What's a story I could say? I could say something. What pertaining to what?
Something that's not choking on peanuts.
I mean, I have a lot of stories.
Do you have any fun stories that you can talk about being on, just in life in general, whether if it's with friends, if you want to showcase or highlight a funny story with you and your friends when you're growing up, or that's a lot to throw on somebody short notice.
See. Oh, I could say when I was in high school, I can go back to the 7th grade. I got some friends of mine that I've been knowing since the 7th grade, and we still keep in touch to this day. This is the whole family of cousins that that I went to junior high and high school with, and one of the guys had a candy ring. You know, he was selling candy like, you know, like how you.
Oh, like not a candy ring, but like a
No,
he
like,
had
yeah.
like a scheme.
Yeah, it was like, you know, instead of selling drugs, he was selling candy. And he had the whole school locked down. They all came to him. Every lunch break, he had the whole store set out on the table in the lunchroom. They would come buy candy. He had workers that had candy in their lockers. They would come buy candy from his workers in the locker. And it got so bad to where they had a task force that went and did raids on lockers for candy. So he ended up having to shut it down, but he made a lot of money in the process.
Wow,
He made a lot of money in the process.
that's
because
funny.
actually, the school that we went to was in a very affluent part of town. And where the school was, we were on the other side of town where it wasn't so affluent.
Mm-hmm.
But we all had a chance to go to this school
Yeah,
to where all the kids that parents, they had money, they had big houses, they lived right around the corner, they can walk to school every day, and they had their little rich parties or whatever, and they were into all type of stuff. But the candy thing, and they spent a lot of money with this guy, you know,
yeah.
about that candy.
I can understand that. I had a little scheme when I was young. I used to go into this place called Reed Sports in Green Tree, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. And I would steal Michael Jordan, like on the tennis shoes. They had the I don't even know what they call them, but they're like these little squeezy things that hold your like ties tight, you know. Anyway, we used to steal them for some reason, and you know, in 19, like I don't know, 90, 91, they were all like the more you had, the better ass you were.
Oh, really?
It was weird, man. My school was strange. Anyway, so you know, it you know, like sort of like how the stickers are in the hats now.
Yeah.
It was like as many as you got.
Okay.
You know, if you had 4, you're like, oh man, you got 4. Where's all your shoes at? You wearing?
Yeah.
Shoes were a big deal. I had never had any nice shoes. One time I bought a pair of Nikes and they were black and pink. I didn't even realize they were women Nikes. But they were Nikes, man.
Yeah.
My mom was like, look, you got $100 to buy all the outfits, and those shoes were like $20 at Reed Sport. Anyway, I stole these things and I would sell them for 25 cents.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, 25 cents,
That was a
man.
nice little hustle there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I got caught, and my mom beat me with a wiffle ball bat.
Oh man.
I felt so bad because she was hitting me as hard as she could, and it wasn't hurting. But you see all the, what was affected her, you know.
Yeah.
And I never stole since, man.
Wow.
Because I was just like, I disappointed my mom this bad. She's hitting me with a wiffle ball bat.
Yeah.
She's trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
But it didn't hurt. I felt so bad about that. That was the last time I stole.
Wow.
That was, I don't know, 90? Gosh, man. Shout out to Chucky Thompson and R.I.P. to Renee Thompson. She's the one who, I was with them when it happened. I was in Kmart, and I stole gold necklaces, Figaro's, and some ropes. I mean, like, dude, you want to?
Oh, Figaro's was the shit back then.
Yeah, and if you got any kind of like golden, like nugget style looking rings,
the Nuggets was big then too.
Yeah, so I got caught stealing.
Oh, okay.
So then, I had all them Nike Jordan things, and my mom was like, "Whoop-ah, whoop-ah." Sorry, Mom. I haven't stolen since.
I kind of got into me and a group of my homeboys. We all grew up together in the same neighborhood, and we didn't really have too much at the time, you know. But what we used to do, we used to go everywhere, and if we wanted to have some type of party or a get together in the neighborhood, we just went and took what we needed. Alcohol, food, whatever. So we had a guy in the neighborhood. He was good at stealing meat, and so he would go steal all the meat, and we'll put it on the grill, and we'll have a big barbecue in the neighborhood. So it was one day. Well, this is several instances, I would say. On my birthday, matter of fact, my 21st birthday, we all got together and said, look, we're going to go get some liquor. So we went to this liquor store and went in there, and we always had a decoy going to ask some stupid-ass questions with the cashier just to get his attention. And we all just getting fifths and half gallons and stuffing them down in our pants, right? So we walk out the door, and the guy realizes that we got all this liquor. So he runs after us and chases out the door. So this is a busy intersection. We run right across the intersection, and we got across the street. He's not going to cross the street because he can't leave that store. So we're taunting him and all that. We know he can't cross the street. So we get all this liquor. So we get back to the neighborhood, and we had a big party.
Wow.
With all that liquor on my 21st birthday. Yeah.
Man, so many different lives, man. So many different ways to live life.
Yeah. And then one day, this was broad daylight, we decided we was going to the park. So we wanted some beer. So we got some beer. Went to the Circle K. We had a decoy as always, Asked some bullshit questions at the cash register. We all walk out with a whole 12-pack. Everybody got a 12-pack. So we get out the door, and my buddy, he's driving a pickup truck. So we get out the door, and as soon as we get out the door, we all jumping in the back, and the lady, the cashier, she's running out the door. And we got beer falling out the 12-pack on the way, just trails of beer just going at the parking lot.
How old were you?
This was like maybe 18, 19 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 years old, something like that. I think it was back then. Yeah. We used to do a lot of that.
Oh, man. My brother.
Meat and beer and liquor.
Anytime we needed liquor or beer or anything, I didn't even start drinking until I met my wife, really.
Yeah.
And it sounds bad, but it was good. When I did drink when I was whatever, I didn't know how to drink.
Yeah.
But my brother, if we ever needed alcohol, my brother would get it for us, and we only had enough money for like a bottle of like a MD 2020 or something, getting grape or gosh, man, if you could even stand watermelon. Ugh.
Oh, banana grape?
A banana grape. They had banana grape?
Yeah, you didn't know they had
No, man, we just had grape.
They had banana grape 2020, MD 2020. They had that flavor. Yeah. Yeah, they had that flavor.
My brother, dude, he opened a lot of doors for me and made sure I was all right when I was younger. Yeah. Man. You said you have all sisters?
I have all female cousins.
Female cousins. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have siblings?
Well, I have 3 sisters. 2 of them are twins.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Man. What would that be like?
They just had a birthday this past weekend, matter of fact.
Yeah? They ever play jokes on you? Like,
No.
are you older or younger?
I'm the older. I'm the oldest one.
Okay.
I'm the oldest one.
Yeah, you play jokes on them.
Well, yeah, sometimes I do. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for being on, man. I appreciate it big time.
Oh, no problem.
And I'm going to have you on again if you'll have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the more and more we do these.
I didn't really get to go in and I didn't get the bullshit and tell the jokes that I really wanted to tell tonight because I was tired.
Yeah.
But
well, it's hard to do this after.
Yeah, it's hard to do
after all that work.
All that work that we did, especially today.
I mean, handling steel. I'm talking that last piece you picked up was 7.5 tons.
Yeah.
I mean, you use a machine, but still, that's a lot of moving around and pushing.
It's just something like, it's something like it's 14,500 pounds. That ain't.
That's all. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Man, well, you do make that work look simple.
Well, it takes a team effort.
Yeah.
I put it like that because if it wasn't for Abdiel and Dion and Julie,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be the team that we are.
It's a good team.
Yeah.
Shout out to all
I'm just
those
a
folks.
link in that.
Yeah. I mean, you are. But at the same time, like every one of you have your superhuman powers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but dude, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
I
brother.
appreciate it so much.
No
You have no
problem.
idea.
And I look forward to coming back. Cause
Yeah, dude. You know where I am.
Yeah.
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 And maybe one day we'll have D on.
Yeah. We're gonna try to get Dion on
Boston. Shout out to Boston.
here. Yeah. We're gonna try to get the old player.
Yeah, maybe some stories there.
He got some stories.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, everybody, comment down below if you have any questions. If you're interested in anything, let us know. We won't know unless you tell us. And I thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving something pretty big away. You don't want to miss on that. And thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.